Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome, you're most welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's early morning, Thursday morning, and I'm down here at Cockle Bay being dazzled by these most beautiful sparkling lights of the buildings that surround this waterway, and absolutely amazed that Cockle Bay and Darling Harbour have become the jewel in the crown when it comes to Sydney nightlife. We've got Mirvac on this side of the harbour who are redeveloping this little precinct down here, and at some point in the future my understanding is that Multiplex will redevelop that little area there, and once again this whole area will be renewed. I'm currently working on that building there. The W, which is an exclusive hotel chain that'll be opening up in October, about 600 rooms, 585 to be exact, with the minimum price being about $700 a night. So a little bit on the expensive side, but life is getting more and more expensive day by day, and I think it's something that we need to basically get used to. What I'd like to do today is just continue along my way and to deliver another book summary, adding to the massive library of book summaries and vlogs that I've put together on my YouTube channel, making it one of the biggest by volume in terms of videos in the world. The product, the material that I publish is unedited. It's just me walking and talking as if I'm talking to a friend, and my views are expressed openly and honestly without trying to offend anybody, but at the end of the day it's an expression of free speech. So the book summary that I'm going to focus on this morning, on this beautiful winter's Sydney morning, is entitled 8 Rules of Love by an author named Shetty. Shetty wrote this book, and what we're going to do is we're going to step through some of the key points and see what we can learn, what we can incorporate into our daily lives, and add it to our wisdom, our library of wisdom and knowledge that we can call upon at times of need. So Jay kicks off the book with a quote, an observation, where he suggests that language has created the word loneliness to express the pain of being alone. But language has also created another word called solitude, which expresses the glory of being alone. So once again, what Jay and many other authors do is they give us a choice in terms of how we look at life, the mindset that we employ, and to give us a double way of seeing something which may appear similar, and give us an opportunity to appreciate that there is a difference between loneliness and there's a difference between solitude. So you can be alone, but by being alone you have a choice of whether or not it's a positive sort of outcome that you're looking for in terms of solitude, or a negative one where you see yourself as being lonely. And there's no excuse to feeling lonely in the world. For us people who have a Christian background, we do have Jesus, we do have God who is there to share our lives with and to ensure that we are never ever lonely or feel that we're missing out. So in order to kick off this book summary and to go through the first 3 key points, what I'd like to do is start by saying what Jay says, that in his opinion there are 4 separate stages of love, but we really never leave any one of them behind, and we can move seamlessly between them as needed. So what we're saying is that there are 4 stages of love, but you never leave any of those behind. You can always tap into each of those stages. You can always go back and basically learn and perfect your love and make the most that you can of it. So Jay, in his life, spent a number of years in a place called an ashram in India, and it's a place of education, a place of reflection where one can go to build their knowledge and build their substance, I guess, in life. And what he said was, we all have ashrams that we need to perfect, and he puts it in the context of love. And he says that the 4 stages of love, or the 4 ashrams of love, commence with a thing called solitude, where you are by yourself and you need to welcome and be comfortable with being by yourself, because it's through this solitude that you prepare for love, and where you learn to love yourself and to be happy who you are and as you are. So it's important to go through each of these stages, each of these prep stations, and leverage them along the way, and to focus and invest time in yourself, and to learn to accept, to appreciate, and to love yourself. Because as with the Christian faith, Jesus' request, Jesus' command is for us to love our neighbour, love one another as you love yourself. So unless you love yourself, unless you take some time to invest in loving yourself, then even from a Christian perspective, then you're not going to be able to learn or be able to love others or respect others, because your cup isn't full, your cup isn't overrunning. And in order to love others, in order to give to others, in order to give up of yourself for others, you basically need to have enough love and respect and honour for yourself first, so that you don't continue to thirst for love, but you can continue then to offer love, to be generous with your love, to be open and willing to give your love and time to others. So solitude is very, very important. So we need time alone, we need time by ourselves, and we basically need to empty ourselves of other distractions to make room for love, to make room for others. Because what happens is, if you're too busy, if you've got too many friends, if you've got too many lovers, too many girlfriends, too many boyfriends, too many experiences, too many things to do, then basically your life is full. And when your life is full and you don't make room for others, or you don't make room for love, or you don't even make time for yourself, then what happens is that you don't grow and develop fully as a person, and you don't make room for others to enter your circle as well. So solitude, whilst in a Western context isn't highly valued, from an Eastern perspective, from a Christian perspective, it is something that we need to consider. If we're going to express and to experience love, you first need to invest in yourself before you can start investing and expressing your capabilities with others. The second ashram that this author talks about, the second phase that we go through in love, is compatibility. It's a practice of love where we extend the love that we have for ourselves, we extend it to others, and at the same time we are open to receiving and to dealing with the challenges that love also brings. So we need to have solitude to invest in ourselves and love ourselves, and then take that love, or take that space that we've created, and practice love with others and extend our love to others, but at the same time be prepared to be able to deal with the many challenges that come through the complexities of love, because everybody is different in terms of how they offer love, how they receive love, and how they express love. So one of the key points here is to, be ready to be tested and to have the building blocks to be able to do the best you possibly can. The third phase that the author talks about is healing, because with love also comes pain, comes separation, comes growth, and with growth sometimes people move apart. So the author here talks about the importance of protecting love through continuing to love ourselves and to protect ourselves and to help ourselves grow and develop, and to share the love that we have with others, and to comfort others in their loss, and to know that love, whilst it is a beautiful thing, doesn't quite always last forever, especially these days in the complex lives that we live. There's a huge incidence of divorce and breakup, and people don't think twice about getting rid of one partner and welcoming another, only to get themselves back into trouble because they haven't sorted themselves out first. So it's important to understand that there's a healing aspect as well. And the last aspect that the author talks about is connection, where we perfect love and we feel connected to the whole world and experience love, different types of love with everyone. The author also reminds us here that the ancient Greeks had 6 different words of love to describe and to express the different types of love that there are. Now, whilst our Western world here seems to think that love is love, nothing could be further from the truth. There are different types of love, and not every relationship can be described as the same. There's erotic love, there's love between parents and children, grandparents and grandchildren. There are love between friends. There are different types of love, and to suggest that love is quite naive, to say the least, and diminishes the different types of love and reduces them to just a word and what can I call it? a word and a label, I guess. So the last point that the author makes on these stages is that they are cumulative. Now you can add incrementally to each of these stages, and the important thing is to focus on building self-awareness, and by growing your capability and ability to be loving, to give love, and also, most importantly, to receive love. There are lots of people that I work with, I guess, in the construction industry, who find it very, very hard to receive love. You know, you go to help them, you go to say, compliment them or something like that, but they just are so hard, and they don't not capable of receiving it. I often tell them, I'm saying, if you're not capable, not willing to receive love, then you're going to be even less capable of offering love, or offering love which is selfless, and not looking for something in return. So the author here reminds us that love is a never-ending journey of learning. And the second key point that comes from the book are the actual rules of love. So this author here has identified 8 rules of love to help us traverse the first, or the 4 ashrams, or the 4 processes of love. 2 of those rules prepare us for love, 3 enable us to focus on practicing love, 2 others help us protect love, and 1 helps us to perfect it. So the first rule of love is to let yourself be alone, and to learn to be happy with yourself first. As we said before, you need to create a void. You need to make sure that your life isn't too compressed, isn't too full, because you won't make room for others. So we need to let go of people, we need to let go of things, and we need to back ourselves and to understand and to respect the process, and not to be caught up with trying to be busy all the time, because we're going to be missing out on love if you're too busy. The author then goes on to say that the second point is that we need to not ignore our karma, because what happens is you end up attracting what you ask for in life. So be careful, and don't try and be a fixer who continually looks for broken projects. You can end up being surrounded by friends, by family, by people who have problems, and you end up trying to fix their problems, and all you're basically doing is creating a rod for your back and creating unsolvable problems for yourself. So once again, be cautious, be careful not to be too indulgent in being too helpful to too many people, because the enemy of the great is the good. The third point is you need to define love before you think, feel and say it. Love is different for different people, and you need to try and understand what you're looking for, what your complement is, what you're looking to supplement or be supplemented with. The fourth point is that your partner is your guru, a person that you will continually learn from, a person who will continually test you throughout your life and be your mirror. So you need to welcome it, you need to appreciate it, and you need to respect it. The fifth point is that purpose must always come first. So you need to support one another, you need to support your partner's calling and what is important to them, just like they need to support and respect what is important to you. The sixth point is win or lose, you need to win or lose together. Be a team, fight the situation and not fight each other. That is a real powerful, profound point, to look at ways of fighting the situation and not spending time fighting each other. To be a team, to be bound together, to be there to minimize each other's pain and to glorify each other's good times. The seventh point is don't break in breakups, because you need to still know and appreciate that you're a valuable person and you're still whole. So as we said, we will continue to lose our friends, we'll lose in love throughout our lives, and not to allow that to define you, not to allow that to break you, but to know that it's just part of life, that love sometimes dissipates, sometimes moves on. Children grow up, parents pass away, uncles, aunts, friends move off. Life is a challenge to everybody, and it's not going to be stagnant. It's not going to just sit there and wait to keep you happy all the time. You need to also grow and develop and move with the times as well. And the last point here is invitation for us to live and to love again and again, to be an expression of love, not to be bitter, and to continue where possible to look for love and to express love with all the people we touch and come into contact with. The third point from this author is to use love letters and to pray in order to cement your perspectives of love. The author doesn't really talk about prayer, he talks about meditation, but I, being a Christian, don't meditate, but I use prayer to help me, tap into and make the most of love. The author here talks about the importance of having a love letter and using love letters to yourself and using love letters to others, because a love letter to yourself or a love letter to your partner will help you appreciate the love that you have for each other or for yourself even more, because writing helps process grief, it helps process trauma, it helps process our thoughts, and it helps us express ourselves. Because what happens is that with writing, what you do is you actually engage in deep thinking, and it is an opportunity to touch and to connect with your soul and to be able to express your soul in a way that you can't really express it in many other ways. So writing is something which is really, really important according to this author. And the author also makes another point which I absolutely love, and he encourages us, and he encourages people to have a thing called a welcoming heart, to be hospitable, to be warm, to be open to people, to situations, and to look at life with wonderment, as opposed to looking at life through the eyes of suspicion. So have a welcoming heart is a real powerful point, a point that I love indeed. So we need to learn how to pray, we need to learn how to express our love, because at the end of the day, love, according to this author, is the most powerful emotion in the world, and it's what separates humans from animals. And the bottom line, of course, is that God is love. God indeed loved the world and loves the world. So we need to learn to express and be an expression of God's love, and to understand that through our lives we're going to be hurt, but we need to break through that hurt and look beyond that hurt, and to forgive ourselves and to forgive others at every opportunity. As my spiritual father always tells me, that married couples, parents, grandparents, our family members. We all need to seek and offer forgiveness to each other, because at the end of the day we're all work in progress and we're all going to make mistakes. We're going to offend each other. We're going to do things which are going to inflame each other on a daily basis. We're going to let each other down. We're going to let ourselves down continually. But that shouldn't be a reason why we don't forgive others and don't forgive ourselves, and start every single day with a clean sheet and try and be better day by day, step by step, knowing that we're going to fail, knowing that we're going to fall along the way, and like the prodigal son, knowing that somebody's going to be there to welcome us with a welcoming heart, and to lift us up, and to glorify us, and to bless us. Take care, everybody. Wishing you all the best. Until we chat again, bye for now from Jim's 5am Club.